the last video of the day, I will be doing an update on the Ole Henriksen little sample pack that I got from Sephora. I think it was a 500 points bonus. It's this right here. And it is the whoopity sheer transformation. Oh lordy. Invigorating Night Gel. I'm not a lefty, as you can tell. And the Truth Serum Booster, Collagen Booster. And I'm also going to try a new little doohickey on my computer's little editing program. And I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try. So, right. What can I say? You know what? I have to say, honestly speaking, the first time I used it, I really didn't like it at all. In fact, I was like, ooh, and then I saw the Wonderful and Lovely Blushing Pixies video like 2 days later. And she actually happened to show all the full size of this little regimen here. And she really, really loved it. And of course, you know, I really trust her taste and her opinions on a lot of things. And I think the key was is she had mentioned that she only used one little pump of this and it was enough for her entire face. So I thought, you know what, maybe I'm just using too much of it. So I went back and I tried it using less, and you know what, it made all the difference in the world. Because the first time I had used it, this one in particular, in the daytime, was, oh gosh, my face was so sticky. It was so sticky, and I thought, how's my foundation going to sit on top of this? It's so tacky and sticky, and it didn't. I mean, it was a hot mess. It was just like patches of stuff that would cling to little areas of it. Ugh. Anyways, it was a real pain in the butt. So when I used less, it was much, much better. So, right, let me start off with this one then. And I'm going to try this little edit. Right, so Truth Serum Collagen Booster. And oh gosh, you know what, I wish I knew what it retailed full size. I think it's in like the 50 to the 70 something range. I do remember Blushing Pixie saying that you should get it in a little set. It does save you money. I think these three come in full sizes in a set. I don't think it's at Sephora because I've never seen it there. But I guess they do come in a set. Maybe you can order it. I actually found this to be quite a nice product if you use the whole less is more, so that it's not sticky on your face. It did give you a glow, as C products tend to do. Would I repurchase this? No, only for the fact that I have my SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic. So that's my daytime serum. So no serum for the day is ever going to beat that for me. So there's not even really any point. I could use this at night, which I tend to do, or I just have been trying to use it up quite a bit because I know my CE will always be there, especially if my skin starts taking a downward spiral. I can just, you know, go back into that for a few days and it'll just get it back to the way I like it. But I think for somebody who doesn't want to spend that kind of money, because the CE Ferulic is about $140, $150 for 30 ml, for just about this much more, like that. Then if this is your introduction to C, you might actually quite like this. What I have kind of a confusion about is how they can keep that C stable, because ascorbic acid, which is the sort of only stable form of vitamin C that your skin can actually take, topically I mean, is highly, highly, highly unstable. And once, you know, oxygen hits it and it starts to oxidize and turn color, like in the CE Ferulic, once that clearness starts to fade and you get a lot of sort of yellowing, it's really kind of rendering it inactive. You want it to be an active product for it to do all the benefits that it's supposed to be doing. So I'm not sure how he stabilized that C. And also this thing, when I got it, I mean, this sucker is so loose, it doesn't even shut. So even if I was to do that, within a second, it just loosens itself like that, see? Like it just, so, you know, talk about not being sort of airtight. And I could sense that it was losing its potency as it went along. So I think there's enough something in it that does give you that bit of a glow. And especially if you're not used to using C products, the first time you use it, you're just going to be like amazed. It freaks you out. It's that sort of glowy and gorgeous looking. So I think perhaps, I don't know, maybe it's this $50. You may want to invest in this as sort of your first foray into C's. It was nice enough. It did give you the glow, but again, like I said previous, I'm not sure about the stability of this and how potent it would last. This does have an expiry date, so 2012. I don't know how it could last that long, but yeah, so, you know, quite happy. Not for me to repurchase. I've just found something a heck of a lot better, and when I say a heck of a lot better, I mean a heck of a lot better. So, but still, I didn't lose my glow by using this. I still maintained it, and for the first few days, just clicking into a new product that still had C, it actually amped up the glow, and then it sort of dissipated again. You know, you'll notice that when you change, you know, shampoos and different skincare things, yada, yada, yada. So there's the first one. Okay, so the next one is Sheer Transformation, and this I believe is supposed to be used in conjunction with both products, sort of like the finishing touch of both of them. I'm wondering if it's just sort of a sheer, well, not a sheer, but kind of a moisturizer. I don't really know. Oh, that type is so small. I did finish it all, and really I was kind of, it certainly wasn't enough moisture for me, although it didn't, I didn't feel tight or dry or anything. So I think for most people, they would actually really like this because it is very light, but still hydrating. Not enough hydration for me because I'm used to oils, and once you've been involved in oils for years and years, it's tough to sort of go into a straight, sort of very light cream. And of course, as you know, if I do use creams, it's a very, very heavy cream. But this actually hydrated pretty well. And I was really kind of waiting for this to be empty because I wanted to see if this actually made a difference to the other two products, or if the other two products on their own just sort of, you know, held their own. And I have to say that it's been probably a week or two since I ran out of this, and I really haven't noticed too much a difference with the other two. So I don't think you necessarily need this to sort of trigger or activate better results with the other two products. I really didn't notice that much of a difference. If you are somebody who just kind of likes to keep everything kind of in one, because obviously this was created to work sort of synergistically together with each other, and perhaps with long term it may do that, and you may find better benefits by incorporating this or keeping all three sort of together. I don't think I used it long enough. There just wasn't enough there for me to know those kinds of effects. But, and like I said, it is nice. There's nothing wrong with this at all. It's just not something that I would gravitate towards just naturally. So I didn't really miss it once it was gone, so that's also telling. If it was something extraordinary, I certainly would have bought a full size or switched up my routine to sort of make room for this. But, you know, I think it is kind of just a straight moisturizer, nice, light, hydrating. What was the scent? Yeah, didn't really have much of a scent. It's kind of, whatever. I will say that this one, going back to that, was, smells great. I mean, just smells just like oranges. Whereas the SkinCeuticals smells like a pack of hot dogs. I mean, it's just not pretty. But that sucker works. And it's still smelling really delicious, kind of like a creamsicle, orangey kind of thing. So yeah, that's my take on this one. And lastly, we have the Invigorating Night Gel. And I think out of all three, this may be something I might repurchase in the full size. I'm still on the fence. I don't really quite know. And this has, it's got alpha hydroxy acids. There definitely was a bit of a tingling. It doesn't smell that great. Yeah, it smells very sort of a little bit, not chemically in a like, ugh, kind of way, but it definitely doesn't have any sort of fragrance added, which is actually a good thing. in my books, resulting in rapid cell proliferation, exposing younger and firmer looking skin. I mean, they all say that, right? All of it is like promotes younger and firmer looking skin. Tighter pores, and it has algae extracts, vitamins A, C, E, and some other holy long word sort of thing. What I was interested in was the A, C, and E, because A is really important, C is really important, and E is really important. And these really are sort of the building blocks for good skincare. You really don't need a lot of this other kind of junkety junkers. So the interesting thing was, because I was almost going to sort of think about purchasing this and adding this into my already existing down to a science regime, when I went and saw the full size, it actually didn't say A. There wasn't actual vitamin A, which is a derivative of retinols, retinoids, that sort of stuff. So I don't know. I was kind of confused because in the larger tub, it makes no mention of A, but in this one, it specifically says A, C, and E. So I'm not really too sure. Yeah. It was quite stingy. It was quite, the alpha hydroxys, the retinols, all that sort of stuff, the A. And I thought it may be a bit too irritating, but I think my face climatized to it or something, and I'm certainly used to tinglings from the C, which I no longer feel, having used it for 5 bazillion years. But with any of those types of things, you will feel a bit of a tingling. I think it is invigorating. I mean, what it says, it really was like, woo, that's quite nice. So I think that I still have quite a bit left. I mean, maybe half left. So you don't need very much at all. Very little, and it's a clear gel. Very thin layers, all that you need. I actually don't really have a serum type of thing that I use at nighttime, so this can kind of fill that little gap. Again, like I said, I'm not 100% sure. The jury is still out, but actually out of all 3 of them, this was the one that I was interested in. I didn't really have something like this in my regime already, so it can, my regime, like I'm some sort of czar. I've got like a whole regime over there. Into my regimen, this can sort of fit nicely, so I wouldn't be surprised if I purchased a full size, but again, it's not necessarily, I'm taking this in context of what I already use. I'm not saying that this is the best product out of the bunch in terms of what you might like. Just for myself, this kind of fills in a little gap that I have. The other 2 I don't need at all. I already have a phenomenal C product. I have great moisturizers. So this, with these ingredients in particular, I am going to go back and re-look at these labels really carefully, or maybe even talk to somebody who really knows this line quite well to ask them if he's just dropped that A component altogether, or could also have something to do with shipping in Canada, certain ingredients, not that they're harmful or anything, we just have different regulations and stipulations with it, and in terms of posting ingredients label, all that is just another ball of wax. So there you go. I hope you found this review helpful. If there's any other questions that you have, because it's getting freaking hot in this room and I'm starting to lose my mind. So please post comments and I'll try and answer them the best that I can. So thanks so much, guys.